Hey guys, I hope everyone's having an awesome afternoon. I wanted to film a super quick Q&A. I'm getting a lot of really amazing motivational private messages and private questions and things that I feel like would be beneficial information for people that are watching. So I went through on Instagram really quick and I pulled a few of my favorite questions, and I'm definitely going to write all of these down, and I'm going to do this fairly frequently if you guys have questions for me. So I am going to give you a couple of my favorites, and that's it. Oh, side note, our internet is not working super well, which means that this afternoon my kiddos are going to probably be tablet free. And if you are a mom of a child that is very much into their tablet, autism or otherwise, you know what an afternoon without one can look like. So I wanted to do this really quick because I knew that I wouldn't be able to get to it later on today, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to do a little bit of cooking. So on to the questions. Going out of order a little bit here because I feel like one question kind of leads into another. So first, how did you get started on keto? So what was it that made me get started on keto? Very, very long story short, this is actually the second time in my life that I've been over 100 pounds overweight. The first time that I got motivated to lose weight was in my early 20s. I am 35 now. When I lost weight in my early 20s, I did it through low carb. I was basically doing a keto diet without realizing that it was a keto diet. It was probably more considered like an Atkins diet. I lost 100 pounds and I kept it off for many, many years. I kept it off until I got pregnant. I got pregnant with Lincoln when I was 31, so that was probably close to 9 years that I had kept the weight off. So my body responds really well to a low carb diet. This time around, I had 2 children back to back. So I had Lincoln when I was 31 and Levi when I was 32, and I put on over 100 pounds and I was miserable. Not just with the weight, but I had other things going on, everything from anxiety to depression, insomnia. I had an autoimmune disorder that was causing a skin flare-up that was very uncomfortable. So the skin situation is actually why I got aggressively started on keto. It's a really long explanation to talk about the skin disorder, but the best that I can tell you is that my body was producing cysts, basically. So I wanted to get that under control, and when I started learning about keto and realized that it reduced inflammation in the body, I was really hopeful that maybe my skin condition would go into remission. And fast forward a year later, and it did. I still have scarring and will still have an occasional flare-up with my skin issue, but it is 95% improved. So that's why I started on keto this time around. It ended up being a really added bonus that I lost so much weight, but what really made me pull the trigger was the autoimmune skin issue. Okay, so my next question is, do you need to supplement your electrolytes? Because I am not a physician or a nutritionist, I can't tell you what you need to do. What I can tell you is that if you are eating the right foods on a ketogenic diet, you should be getting all of the electrolytes and magnesium, sodium, all of those, potassium, all of those things you should be getting from your food. So if you are out of the keto flu stage and you are still feeling like garbage and you think that supplementing your electrolytes is what needs to happen, it's very possible that you're not eating enough potassium, magnesium, and sodium rich foods. So I would do that first. I will drink Powerade Zero just because I like the taste of it, but I try really, really hard to get all that my body needs from the foods that I am eating. So no, I have never supplemented my electrolytes. I have always gotten it from leafy green vegetables and meat and all of the things that you should be eating anyway. So consult your doctor before supplementing any kind of electrolytes, because your body is like a giant chemistry set, and tweaking potassium especially can be super dangerous. So be careful. Next, my favorite simple on-the-go meal. I'm gonna give you two because I am on the road a lot with my kids. They both have multiple therapies every week and school and, mom life and things, so I need on-the-go options. Wendy's is my favorite place to go for a quick keto meal. I typically will get a double stack with cheese, hold the bun, hold the ketchup, and then I get a Caesar side salad. That is my most favorite on-the-go meal. It only costs like $3 or something like that, and you can find a Wendy's everywhere. I also really like Subway. With Subway, I will get basically a sub, but I have them put it in a bowl. So think about all of the delicious meat and cheese and toppings that go on a sub, and then they just serve it in a bowl. So it's a sub without the bread. I love that. And again, there are Subways everywhere. So super simple, super easy. If you're on the go, check out Wendy's, check out Subway, and give me your creative ideas too, and what are some of your favorite on the go simple meals? I would love to know. Next, let's see. How did I meet Dan? We're gonna be here a while. The short answer is that I had just moved back to Florida from Northern California, and I was actually living in my original home of Fort Lauderdale. I lived there for about 9 months and then decided that I wasn't fully happy there. So I decided to move to New Smyrna Beach, Florida, which is an awesome little beach town just south of Daytona Beach. When I first moved to New Smyrna, it was supposed to be a temporary home. I was looking for work in other parts of the country because I really like to move. And I met Dan a couple of months before I was going to take a job in the Washington, D.C. area, and we fell madly in love. I actually was working in a salon, and a new girl started, and she basically told me that she had someone she wanted me to meet. So Dan and I were set up. I was not in the right headspace to meet somebody. However, he was very persistent and won me over. What can I say? I've never been happier. He is a spectacular man. You guys have a lot of questions about Dan, and you love seeing and hearing about Dan, so I have a feeling that a Q&A with him is going to be in the near future. So if you have Dan questions and Dan and Amanda questions, I will get to those too. Shoot me a comment or shoot me a message and let me know some of the questions that you have for Dan. He would love to answer them. He loves to be on video. He's a total ham. So that gets me thinking about job stuff. Someone asked what was my job before this whole life, and I love to answer that question. I have been a licensed esthetician and makeup artist since I was 17 years old. I am going to be 36 this year, so that is a very long time. I have worked in salons most of my life, doing everything from waxing to skincare and full-blown makeup artistry. I did salon life for about 12 years, and then I started working for cosmetics companies. So my most notable and favorite job that I had before I became a photographer was working for Urban Decay Cosmetics. I was an educator and like a salesperson basically. So if you've ever gone into a Sephora or an Ulta and someone that works for the brand has helped you, I was one of those gals. It was the most fun that I've ever had, and it required a lot of travel. So obviously it's not a super mom-friendly position, so I kind of retired from that. I do still do wedding makeup and special occasion makeup. A lot of that is done through the studio that I work for, but I've gotten to a point in my life where photography has taken over my thirst and hunger for creativity, and I put all of my extra effort into that. So So I was a makeup artist is the very simple explanation, and it was an amazing career. I absolutely adore all things women and beauty related, and it gave me opportunities that I never could have imagined. So it was a fun job. Photography is way more fun. Someone also asked what kind of photography I do. I work for a company called Oh So Sweet Studios. My very best friend Jennifer Parker is the owner of the studio, and she is my mentor. She is my sister. She is my very best friend. She's an auntie to my children. She is a little bit of everything. And we do everything from weddings to family photography. We do births. We do lifestyle photography. You name it, and we do it. It's changed my life in ways that I couldn't imagine. It's created a passion in me that I am so thankful for every day. It also gives me the ability to be with my children, and I couldn't be more grateful. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little Q&A. It went a little longer than I had anticipated, but I look forward to doing a lot more of these in the future. I hope everyone has a great day.